100 years ago, when there was no electricity and people needed water from a well, they just used an ordinary bucket on the end of a rope. Super simple. So it's easy to think that if we lose electricity today during an emergency scenario, well, we just do the same thing. Use a bucket. We need to take a minute and think that through. The good news is that there are 18 million water wells in the United States. They're all over the place, and they're a great source of water even during an emergency. Many of them are going to look like this. They're about 6 inches in diameter. And in many cases, you can actually get water from these wells using a bucket. But that ordinary bucket that we just used, it's not going to fit inside these modern wells. It's just not going to fly. So you're going to need a special kind of bucket. It's called a Baylor bucket. Baylor buckets are long and thin and often made out of PVC pipe like this. But the key feature is a one-way check valve in the bottom. So when you lower it into the water, it fills from the bottom. Then when you lift it up, the water is captured. And you can retrieve water from a well. Baylor buckets are cool. They're easy to make. You can find plans on the internet. And YouTube also has Baylor bucket videos that show gallons of water per lift. Now this is impressive, don't get me wrong. And it looks super easy, and in some cases it may be the way to go. But if you're watching this video, you're a prepper, and preppers have situation awareness. There are no pumps in these wells. There's no wires or pipes in these wells, and for certain there's no pitless adapter in these wells. These are empty wells. That's the situation. And chances are, if you need to get water out of a well during an emergency, you're not going to encounter an empty well, especially if you're bugging out. And if you think you could just pull all that stuff out of the well to get the water, well, you know better than that. Pulling a pump out of a well can be extremely difficult, and in many cases just flat out impossible. And that's when things are normal. When it hits the fan, there's not a chance. This is normally what you see when you remove the cap from a well. There's lots of wires, pipes, and pitless adapters. There's no way you're getting a 4-inch bucket down there. Ours, not a problem. This is a typical pitless adapter in a 6-inch well casing. Normally this is 6 or 8 feet down in your well and keeps all the water pipes below the frost line so your water doesn't freeze. This is 3-inch PVC pipe, and if your Baylor bucket is made out of 3 or 4-inch pipe, you're going to see we're going to have a major problem. We're not even close. Most Baylor buckets on the market are simply too big and clunky to work in an active well. The Aquapoacher is made out of 1.25 inch pipe and has no problem clearing almost all pitless adapters. So this is why the Aquapoacher is so much smaller than other Baylor buckets being sold on the internet. If you actually want to get to the water, you have to go small, not big. Also check out the ends of the Aquapoacher. Look how round they are, both top and bottom. There's a lot of stuff in that well that an ordinary Baylor bucket would get caught on. But in a minute, you'll see how easy it is for the Aquapoacher to slip in and out of that well that we showed you. The Aquapoacher also comes apart without any tools, so it's super portable. Look how cool the midpoint joint is. It's practically invisible. Again, nothing to hang up on. Now we hope this isn't the case, but if you find yourself in circumstances where you have to use the cover of darkness to snatch water from a well, the all-black color scheme of the Aquapoacher is going to help you get the water that you need for your family under less than ideal circumstances. The Aquapoacher is pretty easy to use. Once you put it together, simply lower it into the well by the paracord. And you want to listen for it to hit water. You'll hear a little bit of splashing, and you'll also feel some slack in the rope. You want to kind of jiggle it up and down so it sinks aggressively into that water column. And what you're listening for is bubbles. You want to shake it to get all that, open up that top and get all the air out of the Aquapoacher. And then once there's no more bubbles, you know it's completely filled. You pull it up. Now we put some blue food coloring in this 1 gallon milk jug, just so you can see the water. Pull up on the eye bolt here and empty it into your container. Get plenty of water. This is our mini poacher. It's made out of clear PVC pipe to show the bottom and the top mechanism to customers at a prepper show. The bottom is a simple one-way check valve. Water goes in the bottom, but it can't go out. We machine a PVC bushing that has a countersunk hole in its top. A precision ground, mirror finish stainless steel ball falls into this hole and creates a check valve. It's cut away here to show you that there are no rubber seals or springs or fancy mechanisms that can fail. It's a ball, and we use a stainless steel pin to keep it in place. The top is equally simple. A really long stainless steel eye bolt is attached to a big honking washer that closes the hole. Pull up on the paracord and the hole closes. Give it some slack and the hole opens up and air escapes and makes the poacher fill with water and sink. Here we have a clear pipe with some blue water to show you what's going on. When the aquapoacher hits the water, it sinks into the water column and opens up the bottom check valve. During the lift, the top and the bottom seal capturing the water in the aquapoacher. Actually, if you put some tension on that eye bolt and turn it upside down, you'll notice that the water remains captured. Pull up on the paracord and discharge the water. Now the aquapoacher is best used in a shallow well where you can visually guide the bucket down on the water. So we only include about 50 feet of black paracord. But if you do need to go deeper, you can always attach more cord to get to that depth that you need. Well, it's super easy to buy an aquapoacher or one of our quality well pumps. Visit our online store. We take all major credit cards, even PayPal. A couple clicks, and 9 times out of 10 we're going to have that product shipping to you via UPS in 1 or 2 business days. It's not tinfoil hat stuff, it's just flat out common sense. Have a backup plan for food, water, and shelter. There's too much at stake, your family is too important. Not only have that plan, but take action on that plan so you are logistically prepared as well as mentally prepared for when things go wrong. And now is the time to do it, not when things get crazy.